Hello. Welcome to another podcast of welcome to another episode of the Blaque Falcon podcast with myself. Sorry man, you already know who I am, otherwise you wouldn't be here anyway, so it's all good. As much as I'd like to say Happy New Year, new me and all that stuff, today's episode is detailed New Year, new whatever, ... And that's really just to get you guys thinking about really of yourselves. Where is your mind entrained to? That's my question to you, or rather that's your question to yourself if you internalize what I'm saying to you. So, but anyway, hope you guys had a great new year, great great celebrations. Hope you guys didn't eat or drink too much, because obviously you'd be suffering from all of that right now. So good time, happy, recharge your batteries, ready to go, ready to smash some goals this year. All good and gold. All is good, all is well. So today I'm just gonna go through a few things with you, man. Today's gonna be another quick one. It's been interesting going through these episodes solo without having any guests, but I like to make some changes to that. With the way things are going now, looks like that will change sooner rather than later. But I'll leave that in the wind. I'll talk about that just a little bit later. I'll drop a little jewel, I'll sprinkle a little something to you guys towards the end. But anyway, today's episode, or tonight's episode, if you're listening in the evening, wherever you are in the country, the world, wherever you are, hope you're okay. Hope you're well. Trust that everything around you is thriving, not surviving, that you're winning, not spinning or anything like that. So just a few things to think about for the year, for what's ahead. There have been a lot of changes in and around the world. If you haven't been living under a rock, a lot of change, which also means a lot of opportunity as well. Nothing to be afraid of. Obviously, of course, we tend to get a little bit anxious and cautious when it comes to things that we're not sure of, that we just tend to see something that we're not too familiar with. And I just want to say, in terms of where I am and how I've dealt with change, embrace it. Just go head on high. I mean, Falcons like us don't really run away from change. We welcome it. We welcome the new challenges. We welcome the level up. We welcome the upgrade. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be having this podcast. If it wasn't for myself, we wouldn't be having, if it wasn't for me persevering in all of this, we wouldn't still be here. So be brave, be bold, and keep going. Keep going with whatever you're going through. So that's the thing to think about. I mean, I had to generalize that a little bit. Had to kind of just throw that out to you guys, because I know that it's always good just to throw something happy and positive to you guys. So that's how it's always been. But a few things to think about. I've come up with few, I would say, investment ideas that come to light. Few things that I've seen, that I've looked into, that I am beginning to dabble into myself. It may be useful to you, it may not be, but again, just like every other episode, just like every other thing that I've given out, it may be useful to you, it may be useless, or whatever it is, you should find it useful to you to some degree, because of course we're not just gossiping, we're not just talking nonsense here, we're actually talking about things that make sense here over in the Blaque Falcon podcast. So welcome. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to the punchline. So investments. I've had few ideas on a few investments that I've dabbled in. One of them, it's kind of already touching on things I've already spoken about before, but I'll get into the more tangible material things. So number one, I've been looking into precious metals. I've been looking into gold, silver, how that works, where the economy's going, how money's being spent, printed, etc. I won't go into too much detail on this, but to my understanding, one investment that I think makes sense is gold and silver, platinum if you can afford it. I just think with everything that's been going on around us, with this whole NFT craze, Bitcoin going up and down, etc., I just think it makes sense to look into something that's actually tangible and is a natural resource. And for me, that is gold. Look into gold. I think it makes sense to look into gold. We've all seen the old Netflix show Money Heist, maybe. Maybe you've seen the newest season of that, where they're all trying to steal the gold in the Bank of Spain. You may remember as a kid hearing stories of Long John Silver trying to find gold, the treasure chest full of gold. No one's actually out there trying to look for money, because the money, you know, what's the money that you're working for being backed up by? So for me, it has to be gold. Gold makes sense. Gold and silver, of course, precious metals, things like that is a natural resource given to you by the earth. I think that's a much more worthwhile investment. I mean, look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'll have to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a financial advisor. It's up to you what you guys want to do. I'm only giving you my opinion based on things that I found out. But to my understanding, gold is an investment that makes sense. It's there, it's a natural resource, it doesn't really go up and down like normal stocks or Bitcoin or anything like that. The whole crypto craze, I never trusted that anyway. But again, that's just my opinion. You can disagree. You may be a millionaire for crypto and whatever. Congratulations. But to me, gold, silver, precious metals, that's the thing. All right. Next one, property. Real estate, that's something that we all know about. We all know about real estate. The reason why real estate, to me, is an important investment to consider is simply because everyone needs and would like to have a home that they'd like to stay in, an apartment, a house, garden, shed, warehouse, whatever. Real estate, it has to be that. I mean, that's just fairly obvious. It's something that you probably are inside right now whilst listening or watching. Real estate, investment, talking about places where you stay, places where other people stay. Maybe you can get together with a friend of yours and kind of just pull your resource together and invest into a house or a flat. Or maybe you would like to talk about financing an investment for yourself as a buy-to-let property that we call here in the UK. I don't know what you guys call it in the States or wherever, but an investment property, real estate, makes sense. And if you'd like some more information about that, there's two people that I know quite close to me who know about that. There is, go on their Instagrams, type in Apex Rooms, send them a DM on Instagram, and of course, House Group, another good company that I know that every time I've always gone on their Instagram, they always got some good information, good advice, always up-to-date information in terms of property and market values out there in the street. Go check out House Group. They're the ones you want to check out. Send them a DM. Any question that you have about investment properties or places that you just like to move into yourself, if you're just looking into it. Because guys, look, I'm not a what's the word? I'm not a soothsayer. I can't predict it, but it looks like the market's going to crash at some stage. And of course, when the market crashes, that's when investment values go down, go south. So obviously when everything goes down, that's the time to invest, because obviously everything is much more cheaper. And of course, once you buy it cheap, the value then goes up. And then obviously when you decide to, this is just how I understand it, then obviously if you decide to sell it, you can sell it much more than what you bought it for, would then equal the profit. So simple business lesson there, guys. I could be right, could be wrong, but anyway, speak to my guy, Jamal at House Group. He's your guy, he's your man. Tell him I sent you. And Apex Rooms too. Jason, my little brother, he can also advise you there too. All good. Last thing to worry about, to invest in for yourself for 2022, or forever in this case, is yourself. Yeah, I know, right? Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in the fire and the lightness that's inside of you. Because ultimately, regardless of what I say, regardless of what I sit here and say to you, ultimately everything that you do for yourself is ultimately for yourself. It's all down to you. Make that choice, make that decision, invest in yourself. Health, wealth, whatever it is, go for it in that direction. It's all yours. The world is yours. If you really do know what I'm talking about, it all comes from your mind's eye, based upon your feelings and how you see yourself. Because of course, how you see yourself is what you are. So invest in yourself, invest in your mind, invest in your health. But number one, of course, is mind, because the mind is all and the universe is mental. So if you can understand how your mind works and understand how you work in terms of how your mind works, then ultimately everything else around you is like second nature, because the world is only ever going to respond to whatever you give it. So the world is you, you are the world, you are the universe, and the universe is you. There's nothing that I can do, that I have done, that you can't do. It's not about you trying to compare yourself to me, or me certainly not trying to compare myself with anyone else. It's all about what you can do for yourself, ultimately. And that's really what the bad boy here on my left, on my chest here, is really all about. Confidence, seeing yourself how you decide to see yourself rather than what someone else sees you as. All right? Okay then, so what to expect from Blaque Falcon this year? Now, this is the exciting part. I don't want to give too much away, but what I can and will say, and I know some of you may be thinking, when is that book coming out? Good question. It's done. I'm still working on it, and I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still editing it. It's a big book. It's a complex book. It hasn't been an easy book to write, but it's been a very fun book to write. So I'm still in the editing phase of that for Heath. So I'm still working on that. But anyway, what to expect from Blaque Falcon this year from us? I'm going to say a quicker turnaround of orders. So we're going to be having much more orders, much more people like yourselves checking us out, signing up to the email list, seeing what's out there, getting some more jackets, obviously, getting some polos when the time is right, t-shirts, maybe this jumper that I've got on, the quarter zip jumper that you can wear to work or wherever. There's going to be a quicker turnaround of orders that I'm expecting. I've made an investment in actually getting my own embroidery machine where I can actually be creating all of these at home. So expect a better, quicker turnaround of orders sooner rather than later. It's going to be an exciting time. There may be some changes. I may also incorporate an embroidery service to local businesses or anyone out there who just likes to get things done. Anyone out there who just wants to get certain things done, maybe like a piece of cloth, you want me to embroider that. Maybe that is something that I'm certainly considering. But overall, in terms of service and improving the product lines, service lines to you, I am expecting a quicker turnaround of orders, just so that you guys can get what you want, what you've paid for, what you've decided to give your attention to you guys in a much more shorter frame of time. What else to be expecting will be more podcasts and events. I would like to get more of these episodes out there, more guests, more events. We're going to be doing some more of that. I'd like to get myself back into the world again. I know ever since we started the podcast, it kind of came about during the whole, you know what. So what I'd like to be doing is to be getting ourselves out there, out into the world a little bit more, and seeing and speaking to you guys face to face. Maybe you guys are a fan of the podcast. You've dropped a like and you subscribed and you found out that we are at this place and you like to just meet face to face. You not just like to talk. I'm here. So yeah, that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do some more podcasts, do some more events, and go from there. So that is it. Look, guys, it's just a very, very quick episode just to kind of get things moving for the year. So you should be hearing or seeing more from me in the coming months, or weeks, I should say. So let's get it cracking. All right. God bless. Cheers.